Who, sir, loser. You guys lose yet?
No.
Friends, Romans, and Patriots, lend me your ears and strap on your tinfoil hats, because it's time for the Gay Frog Chat. The Gay Frog Chat is a weekly panel discussion where we go chin deep into a different conspiracy. This week, I figured we'd do a little Honda's headlines. I got a couple of articles pulled up here that we can go over. We'll get to that here in a minute, because I would like to say hello. Hello to all of you. Hello. It's good to see you. Yeah. We are joined by the Duke tonight. Yeah. How are you doing, Duke?
Hey, not bad, baby. Happy to be here on a Sunday night.
Yeah, this is good. This is good that you are here. So you are a penile bundle of twigs. It's okay, sir.
A penis stick?
Did you know that that's also a weld? It's not just a bundle of sticks.
We also got an angry platypus, venomous,
Yes.
erroneously here. I don't know what that means.
But you mean like I'm not supposed to be here, or like?
I don't know. Where are you supposed to be, young man? Does your
you
it's
said
9 o'clock. Does your mother know where you are?
Yeah.
Well, it's only 8 o'clock my time, but you said I was erroneously here, so that's what threw me for a loop.
You got a Corey Long. How do you do, Corey? Corey Long. Corey
Not too
Long
shabby.
Schlong.
It's an interesting day today, to say the least.
Yes,
Dallas traffic fucking sucks.
because everyone moved down there, man. Everyone's like, I like guns and freedom. We're moving to Texas. And Texas is like, yeah, come on down. We got plenty of... Fuck, stop moving here.
This is
Yeah,
why
right.
Oklahoma is going to be the place to live soon.
I'm just saying, it happened to Colorado. Now it's happening to you. Welcome to the economic boom that is extreme amounts of people moving to your state. Which
Like
is one of
coming
the...
back.
One of the stories that I was going to pull up here in a little bit, actually, about Colorado rent. And we've got Ray Ray. How do you do, Ray Ray?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Excelente. Excelente. If you guys have any topics or things that you'd like to discuss, give me an @eHonda, and I will try to get to those. And as always, super chats are not necessary, but welcome and appreciated. Daniel already dropped in $2 and said, LOL, Yankees drawing by telling him shut it down.
He's saying he won Yankees drawing for that patch.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
You're like, hey, shut it down. Time for Honda's chat. Hey, here's the patch. Jesus.
See, I think I figured out what we need to do for our end of the world project, and that's we need to get Duke to build an ark for Lake Michigan, because I want to see what the boat looks like after Duke builds it.
Hey, listen. I don't know why you think I can't build a straight boat. But I'll have you know, I've been in some boats before. So
Well, prove it then. Build us an ark, man.
I'm not going to build you an ark.
So what you're going to do is build a gay boat, right? And call it Duke's Ark. And then you're going to fill it with two animals of every different kind of species, but they're all dudes.
Like furries.
No, not humans, like dudes. Like,
Oh, okay.
they have penises. He's trying to get lions to have gay sex on his ark. Because that's what
And
Duke said.
we're only 4 minutes in.
4 minutes.
In other news,
Oh god.
I can't even fucking think right now about anything else.
I just want to see Duke cruising around Lake Michigan in a big gay ark filled with animals.
All the lions are like, roar.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around where Duke's finding lions in Michigan.
Don't worry about it.
The Detroit Zoo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break down the analytics of how Duke's is going to do all of this.
okay. So I got a funny story for you. So there was yesterday 4 Marines were arrested at the San Diego Zoo in California They were on those what's the ride where like it'll hold 4 people and it's got like a line across in the air and you sit in like the little teacup and it takes you across the park. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like a sky
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah, Skyride. Well, they were in it and they shook it so hard that it broke the machine and hundreds of people were stranded inside, suspended in the air for hours
Wow.
that's
because
great.
they broke it. So they all got arrested. So I'm just, I want to know what that Monday morning meeting is going to be like.
Where
with the
is
first
this?
sergeant? It's San Diego at the zoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they all got arrested. It was 1 sergeant and 3 lance corporals. So.
You know,
That's why it's gonna be
when Venezuela fucking like went under financially and their dollar was worth nothing, people went to the zoo and killed the animals and ate them.
Ugh.
Huh.
There's some dude eating like a hippo and another dude eating like a fucking like a giraffe or some shit. I wonder what the tastiest zoo animal is.
Those monkeys got loose and probably ripping everybody's penises off. That'd be terrifying.
Were they riding
then they're using
motorcycles
them-
and low-cut
and then they're-
fences?
And then they're using the
That's me with
penises as like
Henry.
sword fights. Like they're trying to reenact plays and they're fighting each other with penises that they ripped off.
What if you're so starving that the only thing left to eat is all the animal dicks from Duke's big gay boat, and you have to have a big gay dick barbecue?
Did Duke turn it into a boat full of tranny animals? And he gave them surgeries?
Yeah, like what?
No, he
who-
ate them.
Like,
Like eventually,
who
he's gonna
cares
get
what
hungry.
type of animal you're eating? I don't give a shit what type of animal I'm eating.
So
Like if
Duke
it's male
will
or
eat the
female.
animals, but he just leaves the peen behind.
So we're definitely moving on with that joke. We're all done with that one. We don't need to keep doing it.
I'm
Moving on.
just
like
confused
Duke's
how
arc.
Duke now you're a boat builder somehow.
Who
And
eats everything but the peen.
yeah, and like
Peen.
like
A peen
There's too many-
kebab.
there's too many flaws in this theory.
There's a lot of flaws.
Dear Lord. All right, well, let's get into some stories, shall we?
Yeah.
I have one additional question though. If you did do that, would he have to like wear the robe and beard and shit and have a big stick?
Yeah, and a box of crayons in his pocket.
Yeah.
International criminal grand jury investigates psychopath globalists use COVID to commit crimes against humanity. Wait, that sounds a little fucking crazy. We can't talk about that on YouTube. How about this one? CNN insider Brian Stelter should start looking for another job. CNN needs to step up and fire its chief media correspondent, Brian Stelter, for failing to report on President Jeffrey Zucker's extramarital affair, according to Network Insider. The CNN employee who insisted on anonymity claims Stelter should not have been scooped by all of the other networks about his own boss. It's funny if that's what they fire him for. Did you hear? Okay, so Zucker is the guy who not Brian, what's his name? Something Zucker? Jeff Zucker. Has been in charge of CNN for like the past 8 years or something like that, and he's basically responsible for the sensationalization of fucking news media and the clickbait fucking way that things work these days. And it's not about being correct, it's about being first. That's all Zucker. And he's now been outed from CNN, and the guy who's replacing him is a Trump supporter. And he is trying to make CNN more of a centrist news media source that isn't slanted towards the right or left. And everyone at CNN's freaking out about it. And I think it's fucking hilarious. Thing is, I will never watch any mainstream media. I don't care. Fuck you, Fox. Fuck you, CNN, ABC, NBC, every one of them. Every single one of them is a colluder. Every single one of them is out to fucking fuck you and me out of our money and our rights for their benefit. And they don't fucking care if your kids starve on the street and you die of fucking depression and suicide or some shit. In fact, they hope that you do, because that's less fucking useless eaters on the planet as far as they're concerned. So, sorry, I got a little heated there.
We live in a propaganda
It's
state,
okay.
dude.
I like to play. Well, shit. Yeah, I mean, we do live in a propaganda state, and anyone who doesn't recognize that is a victim of propaganda.
Yep.
Let's be honest. I mean,
I think our current government has more in common with Nazi Germany than we would like to admit.
well, and again, they're using Saul Alinsky's playbook. How long have they been calling the other side Nazis? So that when they do Nazi shit and people call them a Nazi, it seems ridiculous. Like, oh yeah, I'm the Nazi. Yeah, okay. Even though you got a swastika on your arm and you're burning Jews in a furnace. Nah, you're not a Nazi. Don't worry.
It won't be Jews. It'll be white people, but yeah.
Same diff. Bill Maher, medical establishment responsible for a lot of COVID misinformation. It's funny. I think Bill Maher has finally woken up to the fact that he's been on the wrong side. What's that?
He's been red pilled or some shit, dude. Like, I always liked him because we agreed on a few key points and just vehemently disagreed on guns. And like, he's, I don't know, coming closer to where you and I live, I think.
Well, I mean, I really liked Religulous, that documentary that he did a while back, and like I always thought his show was funny until he became like crazy leftist and anti-Trump and all that stuff for all those years.
Agreed.
And I don't forgive him for that, because you're supposed to be a free-thinking individual who makes up his own mind and has his own opinions about things based upon the information and everything in front of you, right? And he went along with the fucking mainstream everyone was saying the thing, so I'm going to say it too. I'm going to get on board with the bandwagon motherfucker, dude. Like, think for your fucking self, or I'm not going to listen to you. And if you toe the fucking media line, if you toe the fucking party line of what they want us to know and what they want us to hear about, then I'm never going to fucking listen to you ever again, even if I do think you're funny.
In Bill Maher's defense, it's sort of like, what if Hank Strange ran for president and won? Like, how would Matt react? Like, they had a huge feud and like screamed at each other on television a few times.
Daniel dropped in $5 and said, it's not far-fetched to argue that our current government is ran by, it skipped up, the descendants of the mean mustaches. I mean, how many German Nazi scientists did we let into our country and fold into the internal mechanisms of the deep state in our government post-World War II?
Too fucking many.
Several thousand, right? Something like that?
I don't think we actually know the number, but it's at the very least 500 or 600 and at the very most 5,000 or 6,000. I don't really remember what the exact number I heard was, though. I think you're right.
Let's Go Brandon flag appears during live MSNBC broadcast in the background. So they're, like how MSNBC does the thing where they're like, oh, we're reporting from the streets of New York City. We're going to sit here on the corner in my suit and tie and my, my fucking expensive ass shit with my camera crew around me. And we're going to be there with the people. And then a black guy gets in the background. He's got a Let's Go Brandon flag. Here, let me screen share this shit. This is hilarious.
I like that it's an African-American man, because at least they can't be like, oh, he's a fucking Nazi Trump supporter or whatever.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And you can see in his eyes, he's like, oh, please don't fire me, overlord boss. Just make it go away. Oh, dude, I used to have this baseball coach, and he was like a pitcher in the minor leagues and thought that he was like big shit. Like in his day, he was a pitcher in the minor leagues, and then he had a kid and like fucking was a has-been fat ass fucking piece of shit. And he was our coach because he was in the minor leagues and he was a pitcher and blah, blah, blah. And he would say, come on, guys, you need to hustle. Oh. He'd make that noise after every sentence that he yelled. Like, he couldn't fucking speak loudly without being like, oh, at the end of it. Oh my God, we made fun of him so bad. And he was so fat that he had to he bought a trailer for his van. He had a full-size van, and he bought a trailer for it so that he could bring a golf cart on the trailer so that he could ride the golf cart around practice to different stations because he was too fat and lazy to fucking walk to the next fucking station. Sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah. Biden, gun manufacturers are the only industry in America that is exempt from being sued. And you couldn't buy cannons when they wrote the Second Amendment.
There are a lot of things that are exempt from being sued. Aren't there? Anything that has government contracts, pretty much you can't sue them.
I can think of the one industry in America that is beyond.
Ding. It's like we think alike sometimes.
Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson couldn't be reached for comment.
Shit.
That's good. Yeah. Well, that's about all I didn't really put a lot of work into this, if you can't tell.
Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best.
Only the hastiest of headlines.
Yeah.
Well, since Matt's not here, you got to do libs of TikTok in his honor.
Oh, we could do some libs of TikTok. Fuck it, why not?
That makes my blood pressure go skyrocketing.
I was having fun.
Ding dongs.
This photo perfectly sums up the left. Disgusting and infuriating. Why does she not wear a mask?
Because she's too mighty.
Dude, I saw a video of it was in Las Vegas, a teacher punching a female student who was sitting at her desk in the back of the head repeatedly until she was unconscious.
Damn.
Like punch, 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 punch. Oh, this arm's tired. Switch to the other one. Punch, 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 punch.
Isn't that a rabbit punch, and doesn't that kill people?
Yeah, well, she was unconscious by the time it was done. And the thing that fucking made me upset was like the kids in the class were like laughing about it. Like, fuck you, dude. I don't care what that chick did. If you don't like her, whatever, dude. You don't let an adult punch a person in the back of the head repeatedly and do it again and again and again and again and again. Like, fuck you. And what would you do? Okay, so Duke, you've got a little one.
Yep.
You take him off to school one day, you drop him off, little Dookie gives you a high five, everything's great. Here's your lunch, buddy. Have a good day. He gets home crying, bawling, black eye. What happened? My teacher hit me. What do you do? Apparently, Duke went to the school to figure that out right now.
I'm not. No, but I'm right here. What's up?
You didn't hear me answer that whole question, Jesus.
You cut out at the
Fuck
end.
me,
I heard,
dude.
No, I heard the part about going to school. The little guy going to school. I got that part. What was the second part?
So then later on that day,
Mm-hmm.
little Dookie gets home and he's crying and upset. You look at him and he's got a bloody head and a black eye. And you ask him what happened. And he says, the teacher hit me. What do you do?
I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail.
Nah, you wouldn't go to jail.
I don't think I can say on YouTube what I would actually do.
I can't talk about it anymore, Duke, but you definitely wouldn't go to jail.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't go to prison.
My issue is that I would go talk to him and find out what was going on. I mean, I'd go up there and find out, try to see the other story before I started acting irrational. But like, there's only one way that ends, and no one's gonna put their hands on my kid. I don't really want to do that. I'm not into that. My wife's not into that. I mean, there's certain times that it has to be done. I get that, but like, that's never like if that happens, I'm gonna lose my mind. I might even be really calm about it and just sue the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, sue them for like a couple $1 million. Call up one of the big lawyers in Michigan and just be like, hey, This is what we're doing.
And then
Yeah,
you
that
take
way.
like 10,000 of that $5 million and pay some fucking Guido to go like kneecap her in the parking
Yeah,
lot.
why you gotta pick on my people?
That's what I was gonna say. Like it's fucking
other-
Detroit or some shit. Like
There's other groups of
people
people
get
out
mugged
that
coming
have
home
the
every
same-
day.
It's yeah, I care a lot about my son's future, and so much so that we're going to be very involved in the whole school process. You know, that's school molds you, teaches you. You spend a bunch of time at school. You spend 8 hours a day at school. That's a long time.
I know whenever one of my kids comes home and they're like, Dad, my English teacher doesn't like me. Blah, blah, blah. This happened or whatever, right? Which has happened before. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's happened before. And then I go to parent-teacher conferences, and I make a mental note when they say things like that. Okay, English teacher. I don't care about her name. English teacher. English teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And then I show up to the parent-teacher conference, and the math teacher's there, and I'm very nice. And the science teacher's is there, and I'm very nice. And the art teacher's there, and I'm very nice. And then the English teacher comes in, and I'm the biggest fucking dickhead that she has ever met in her entire life. But I do it in a way that, like, you can't fucking kick me out. And you can't fucking, like, I'm not cussing at you. I'm just being confrontational and slightly rude. And, like, I'll interrupt you in the middle of your sentence and tell you're wrong about something before you're able to, you know what I mean? Like, I'll do the thing that I do to people on chats when I'm mad at them.
I don't feel
So
in
these
any
chats-
way that's coming to me.
But to the teacher, it's her face. So it's a lot more personal, you know? It's really fun to do. I mean, I do have to say thank you guys for the increased ability to win an argument by pissing people off and interrupting them.
That's very
You
true.
stare
We do
through their
do that.
soul.
Sorry, Angry, what did you say?
I don't know where I'd be without you guys, you know?
I said he just stares through their soul.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what fucking eye bags has to say here. Look at these fucking eye bags. Jesus. Get some sleep, man. Stop doing so much meth. I don't know what it is, but let's hear what you got to say.
Jesus.
Hi, my name is Anna. I am dating everybody in the polycule. I am married to Jake. We've been together for 8 years, married for 3. I'm dating Spencer. We've been together for 3.5. And I am dating Ellie. And we've been together just over a month now.
What?
Huh?
Now, why she's so tired? Because she's been getting hit with dick at like every hour of the day.
Some of those people didn't have dicks by their names. I'm guessing.
They're not eye bags because she's sleepy. They're just black eyes from getting whacked in the face with dick.
Dick slap. Whack.
Like, how
All
funny.
right, let's see what else.
I am bisexual and my pronouns are she, her. I'm also in charge of this account and in general.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm married to Anna, and she's currently my only partner.
Oh my god. Jake, man, I gotta say, like, first of all, what's up with the ears? Like, you should probably not do that. I don't know.
You look like a fucking referee.
Yeah, like he looks like a cat referee from a Japanese anime cartoon or some shit.
What the fuck is going on?
Do you wait outside
It's the
of
new
the
Jake from
bedroom?
State Farm.
Does he wait outside of the bedroom for Anna to get done with her other 2 lovers?
Probably.
Does he clean up the mess when it's over? Change the sheets and such.
I doubt
I
it.
am demi-romantic, which means I only get feelings for people, like romantic feelings for people, if I've been around them for a while and get to know them really well.
So you're like everyone else.
Pansexual, but I like the bi-colors more, so I call myself bisexual. My pronouns are he, they.
What the fuck?
We found the house of unfuckable people.
So his pronouns are he, they. I can't even make that noise.
That's nice.
The fuck?
Like, was that Duke?
Yeah, that was Duke.
You okay there, Dookie boy?
Monkey fell out of the chair.
I think he moves out.
He says he's okay. Phone call
Maybe.
for him.
He got a call from his wife's boyfriend. Just kidding.
Oh, God.
We're watching the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean it.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm dating Anna. I'm not currently dating anybody else. I'm some flavor of beer. And my pronouns are she, her.
I'm Spencer.
Jesus Christ.
It keeps going. I'm Spencer. Stephen Carroll dropped in $2. Said Jake has a doggy bed in the corner of the room. Oh,
Right.
He probably does. Jesus.
I'm only dating Anna. I'm bi, but like bi.
He looks like he's tweaking.
My pronouns are they, them, and my gender is. Wait.
I'm going to give
pretty
you a
sure-
hint. Yes, I think all of these people might be tweaking.
I'm pretty sure. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure this is just a meth house that like they just shoot up and just fuck each other in like a dirty ass crack house. Like, I'm fairly certain that's what this is.
Tom F dropped in $10 and said Jake alone was worth the price of admission tonight. Jeez. Oh my! I just want to get through this now. Hold on, let's get it.
Wait.
I thought your pronouns were he, they. Are you having a realization?
I don't know.
What the fuck is going on, dude?
He has brain damage, for one thing.
Like his parents fed him lead paint chips as a child. Look at his nose. What is that?
It's like he
Oh,
cut
that's his
part of it
finger. I thought that was part of his fucking nose. Sorry, his finger's right there. Okay.
off. Okay.
My gender is to be determined.
Oh my lord. Look, I get that that's kind of a thing these days or whatever.
I get the non-binary people. I think they're just
But-
confused, man. Like, I really think that that's mostly an issue where like the various factors that are going on in society are creating this pool of people that are just so lost that they're like, I'm non-binary now.
Okay, in the late 1960s, there was a very, very prominent story in the newspapers about a woman who had multiple personality disorder, who had true, actual, diagnosed, like, fucking real McCoy multiple personality disorder, which is actually a fairly uncommon disorder. It's like 1 out of 1,000,000 people or less have it, right? And it was such a prominent story that everybody who had some sort of a need for attention and psychosis going on decided that they had multiple personality disorder too. And then all of the, like, nationwide, it was a phenomenon for a little while, wherein the fucking psychiatric wards got flooded with people who claimed that they had multiple personality disorder and were acting like they had it even though they didn't.
So you're saying we're a bunch of monkeys that copy each other?
I'm saying that probably a percentage of the people who were dealing with that, not everybody,
I tend
but
to agree.
some of them are definitely influenceable and have a level of psychosis going on and some sort of an abandonment issue and like need for attention kind of thing going on, and will do whatever it takes to get that attention. That's what I think. I don't have evidence of that. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I can't give you a fucking report or study that claims these things. Is just my intuition, but still.
Having been in and around this for a while, like I am kind of the same opinion. Like there's like 2 different groups of people. There's one that are a certain way and there's one that are a different way. And some of them are definitely like what you're describing. And then they're like people that, I don't know, are actually trans. That's not popular to say. Like everything I'm saying right now would get me like kicked out of the fucking gay community, basically.
Well, and that's another problem with the gay community. No offense again, is that there's dogma that must be followed and thinking is not allowed. And you must, if you check this box, all of these other boxes must be checked as well, and you're a fucking piece of shit if you don't.
I just try to let everybody do what they want to do, and it seems like some people are more or less mentally stable than others.
Back Alley Hunan Muhammad 1969 says, let's make Matt think that everyone thinks he had emergency urethra widening surgery.
Mm.
I don't know about that one.
They filleted it.
Damn it.
Where's Duke when you need him?
Didn't know that.
Her poor husband. That dude needs to just like shave his head and his beard, change his name, move to a different state, get a job at a place where no one knows him, and start over. He'd be better off. Men of Tupperware says mass media hysteria. I believe that's what that phenomenon is called that I was talking about with the multiple personality disorder. Same thing happened with serial killers. You get the copycat killers, right? Same thing, I believe, happened with mass shooters. You get all these stories about school shooters and shit. Then you get these like other people. It's a little harder to prove copycat when it's just a dude with a gun. But still, I mean, where do you think they got the fucking idea? You know what I mean? A school in D.C. forced kindergartners to march around with Black Lives Matter signs and chant Black Lives Matter.
Oh, they're practicing. They're practicing their future behavior.
This fucking pisses me off. You want to spout your shit, that's fine, but leave fucking kids out of it.
Yep.
It's the Hitler Youth. There's really not much difference between this and what Hitler was doing with taking kids and putting them in a kindergarten where they started brainwashing them to the Nazi idealistic fucking society's main tropes from a very young age. I mean, it's the same thing that fucking Sunday school does, dude. It's the same shit. I forget, well, yeah, there's a huge difference, but it's the same principle, TC. And I forget what I was going to say. Damn it, TC. You fucked me up in my line of thought. Fine, we'll just go on.
Damn the marijuana.
What is this? Marriott empty Friday night at 10 p.m. of the Freedom Convoy in the Hilton Garden Inn just canceled our exit. Okay, so have you heard about this? The Freedom Convoy in Ontario is having problems with people who've booked hotels. The hotels are canceling people's reservations and telling them that they cannot come to the hotel because we have a staffing shortage, we're having this or that problem, whatever the excuse is. And then the people are like, well, fuck it, we're already here. Let's go to the hotel and just see how busy it is. And
can't come into their rooms because the city's blocked off. Can you believe that? And these guys that work here are trying to tell us this. Watch this, the Marriott on Friday night, the 7th day of the protest. They're trying to convince us that they're at capacity. So these guys here are trying to convince us that this hotel is at capacity. The only people here are the people that work here. Friday night, second week of the protest, they're trying to convince us that we're at capacity. And the only reason why people aren't here is because they're out protesting. The garage is empty. It's all empty. And they're telling us that people can't come in here because they're stuck out there. They can't get to the hotel room or because they're outside protesting.
the other thing that they're doing, there was the GoFundMe with like $3 million or $4 million or something like that, that people from around the nation of Canada and America and around the world for that matter have seen what's going on in Canada and have wanted to pitch a couple of dollars to help the truckers in Canada out who are not working right now and protesting and parking their trucks in the middle of Ontario. Well, they basically said, hey, we don't know who to pay this out to, which is a perfectly legitimate, problem to have. They could figure something out, though, honestly. So what we're going to do is just take all that money, GoFundMe, and donate it to the charity of our choice.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
essentially
$9
stealing.
million. $9 million.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Oh, they're sending it back to the donors now? Well, yeah, because they were going to get sued to fucking hell for that shit. Whatever, dude. Fucking, from now on, if you guys ever have some sort of a need for something like GoFundMe,
Cash.
use Give, Send, Go, use something else, dude. Do not use GoFundMe. Do not give those fucking people an opportunity to even make a little bit of money off of your funding program. Because that's how they make their money, right? It's like 90% of the money goes to the person that you donate it to, but 10% goes to the organization. So GoFundMe is fucking loaded by this point. You know what I mean? Like, they have so much fucking money. Anywho.
So I heard earlier today that basically some of the Republicans now are talking about if they win enough of the midterms to get the Senate and the House back, they could make Trump the not secretary, the head of the House, Speaker of the House, and then he could impeach Harris and Biden. I'm like, that would cause some Civil War shit. Like, I don't see any way that goes down peaceably.
Oh, here's the video that I was talking about. Okay.
Holy shit.
This is in Las Vegas. I don't know what happened before this video started. This is a teacher, and that is a student. Teacher, student.
No, stop. Guys, stop. Get off of her.
Someone should have started beating her ass.
And then she looks up and realizes that she's being recorded and just like walks off. Like, what kind of fucking shit is that?
I was going to get away with it until I saw it was recorded.
That bitch needs to be charged with full-fledged child abuse. She needs to have the entire force of the government, of the state, of the barrel of the gun of the state pointed directly at her. She needs her fucking livelihood, her possessions, her freedom, and her very fucking future taken away and put in a fucking jail and fucking throw away the fucking key. And then everyone else who has to, is a teacher or whatever, needs to watch this shit and fucking see what happened to her so that maybe it can stop someone else from doing some shit like that too. I saw this stuff and I was so fucking pissed, dude. Oh my God. I had to go hug my kids and then tell them that, if they better not happen in their class is what I was going to say.
I say that bitch just needs to be blood eagled.
She said the N-word. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
you say the N-word in a classroom like that, you go to the principal's office.
Yeah.
You get to call your parents and tell them what you did. You don't get your head beat in by a fucking liberal fucking retarded ass fucking bitch fucking Karen who happens to be the teacher. And there were students in that fucking class laughing while it happened too, man. Yeah, Brian Knight said if not recorded, she would go free. Because, yeah, it'd be plausible to deny. I don't know who punched her. It wasn't me, though.
Well, that and no one believes fucking kids over the teacher. Even if they had a group of them like that with fucking tenure or whatever, all the protections that they have in the fucking union, you'd never get rid of that bitch without the video.
Yeah, she's unconscious.
No, stop. Guys, stop. Get off.
Like, seriously. Wow.
Honestly, if the entire class beat that teacher within an inch of her life, I think it would be appropriate.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, here's the thing, though, dude. When I was in school, at the age that those kids are, 15, 16, 17, right?
Yeah.
If a teacher would have done something like that in front of me to a girl, to a student, no matter what the fucking reason was, I would have put their head through a fucking wall.
Yeah, me too.
And the fact that nobody has balls these days, figuratively.
I don't know how you just sit there and watch that, man.
No one wants to step out of line. No one wants to be the tall blade of grass that gets cut. No one wants to be the person that stands out and might actually have to fucking answer for it later. Or, like, no one else stood up, so now you're singled out, you know?
Well, that one girl, she tried to stop her, but she's like, meh.
There's a big
She was
difference.
just like, stop it. Stop hitting her.
There's a big difference between a
Stop.
little girl saying "stop it" and a 6'5" man stepping between them and beating the living piss out of her.
Yeah, grabbing
Which is
her
what she
by the
deserved.
fucking collar and the belt and throwing her through a fucking window. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
Oops.
they're taught from a young age now not to resist any sort of authority unless everyone else is resisting that same authority.
I don't know, man. Like, my thing is, the second she started hitting her like that, like, all bets are off. Like,
Yeah.
that's a felony.
Yeah.
If you walk into the doctor's office and they ask you for your pronouns and say they don't weigh patients or discuss weight to be inclusive, run away as fast as you can. You're welcome. There's music. I can't play the fucking sound.
I don't know if I've ever been asked my pronouns.
Okay, if Ray, if you walk into a place and there's like a gay pride flag on the wall, does it make you feel more comfortable in the place?
Not really, but the doctor that I go see, like, weighs people and whatever, but, like, they're friendly. Like, they use the pronouns I prefer. That's all I really want.
And I understand being respectful to someone and, you know, like, trying not to offend them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're just spending your whole life, like, falling over yourself so that you can not offend potentially people who might be offended by things that might happen in the future because of the thing that you might have said.
What I see when I see that gay pride flag and the buttons and the pronoun thing is, like, glad handing. Like, they're not really on my side, but they're pretending to be because they want my money.
All right, so we've got 115 total votes. Military arms channel sucks, or military arms channel is cool. 77% of the 118 votes have said military arms channel sucks. 23% believe military arms channel is cool. Very good. That's about what I expected, to be honest. It's that whole SVD thing. Like, before that, it would have probably been like 80% think he's cool, you know? Like, what else has military arms channel done that pissed everybody off?
I don't know.
Was that it? Was that the only thing that he did? I thought there was
Honestly,
something else.
the Hungarian SVD thing didn't even make me mad because you shouldn't want one of those guns anyway. They're pieces of shit. They're made by FEG. That's all you need to know about them.
Well, the reason why people were pissed about that was because there were a group of people who convinced them to make them or whatever it was, and then they finally came in and military arms channel bought them all up and then said, like, oh yeah, I'll give you guys, like, first chance to buy them from me if you want them, and then I'll put them, and then he just put them on fucking Gunbroker.
Honestly, like, there's multiple sides to that story, and from what I understand, they would not have actually come into the country had he not stepped in and bought them, and then he was going to make money off of doing that.
He is part Ferengi.
Yeah, and, like, that's kind of my thing too, is, like, I don't give a fuck. Make your money. I don't care. Like, is it kind of a shitty thing? Yeah, but, like, the dudes on the AK files are shitty people too. Like, I don't care about any of the people in the story, I guess, is my thing.
3-year-old denied heart transplant by 3 countries as his parents were unvaccinated. Was that same kid who was at the Ronald McDonald House?
No, that kid at the Ronald McDonald House, didn't that kid have, like, leukemia or something?
Oh, that's right. Dude, that's so fucked up. Like, your
still
kid's
an
got,
equally
like,
fucked up story, yeah.
like, if your kid has leukemia or is sick and there might be a cure and it's like, who knows if it's going to work or not, it might not, and like, okay, like, let's try for the heart transplant and save Johnny. Sorry, sir, you can't do that because you're not vaccinated. I would get vaccinated, I guess.
I'm sorry, you're an unperson.
I just don't understand how, like, the parents, like, where's the... Granted, we all understand, like, the science is kind of hazy about all this. So, like, where's the level of connection? Like, you can't plant because your parents aren't fat. Like, are they in the emergency room, the operating room with you?
Did you trade your router in for a potato?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're like breaking up like crazy.
Sorry, that sucks.
Oh, really? Fuck. Okay.
Kids forced to mask up while engaging in strenuous activity. This is evil child abuse. I don't think you should be wearing masks like that if you're playing a sport, for sure.
I don't either.
Wasn't there a story a while back of was she a track star or something and had to wear a mask and then collapsed during the race?
Yeah, I remember that. And she like fell like right before she got to the finish line or some shit, and because of lack of oxygen. It's like you're killing your brain cells too when you do that too. It's like, yeah, go to school and play sports, but then kill all the brain cells that you fucking use for school.
I don't like how the mask was like instantly politicized. Like, either it helps with the fucking pandemic or it doesn't. Like, I don't get why this was ever a political issue or why it's like a symbol of like subservience to their fucking cause. I guess like it's a symbol that you're with them to wear the mask almost.
I just go back to the beginning of the whole pandemic when Nancy Pelosi was in Chinatown hugging Asian people and Fauci was on national TV telling people that masks don't work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they should have just kept that up and it would have been fine. Go hug more Asian people and stop wearing masks. We'll all catch it and then we'll all be immune to it.
Well, they were only doing that because Trump was in office and he was saying to do the opposite. So you gotta do the opposite.
Right. And then when it was Trump's vaccine, like, oh, well, they came out with it too fast. I'm not taking it. And then as soon as Trump was out of office, mandate, you shall take the injection or you shall go to the gulag.
That's my thing is what the fuck changed about the vaccine? Like nothing, just they're the ones in power now and they want to use it to their advantage to fuck with us.
Power and control.
All right, let's see what this fella has to say. Some buyers ask the weirdest questions.
So I was recently asked what I thought was a pretty silly question, and I'm wondering if anyone else has received this. Someone sent me a message about an item I was selling on eBay and asked if they were to purchase the item, what type of mask would I be using while packing the item? Well, I'll be honest, I don't wear a mask when packing my items. So I wrote back to the person and said, what kind of mask would you like me to be wearing? They told me that they would like me to be wearing a double N95 mask. I responded and said, I'm sorry, but I will not be wearing a double N95 mask when packing your item. I decided to be honest. And they sent horrible things to me saying that I am going to give them COVID and all these just crazy things. What was the item that they were going to buy? The Chuckler pen. So apparently this was the item that they were concerned of getting COVID from. So I was recently at...
Huh. How long do viruses generally live on surfaces?
It depends on where it is, but in a package like that, they irradiate the mail, so not very long.
I'm just saying, like, if you had like I don't know, like AIDS blood, and you drip some AIDS blood on a window pane, and then came back in a month, is there still like live AIDS in the blood?
No, viruses last like maybe a few days at best. Like even the most hardcore virus won't last a week on a surface. exposed to the elements and shit. Like if it's different, if it's like in a human body or whatever, it has like something protecting it. Like maybe it was like in a sealed Ziploc dish with some fucking water and some food or some shit, then it might last longer. But just being like on an exposed surface, it's not very long.
24 hours for AIDS blood. Oh, we got a couple super chats too. Chili Peen dropped in $1 just to drop in $1. Thank you, Chili Peen. Chili Peen does that a lot. He just comes in and drops in $1 and doesn't say anything. Well, I mean, he says other things like this. A lot of masks where bandanas or Amazon are made by burqa companies. See? But he doesn't say anything when he drops in the $1. Ghost Shadow says, Jost Shadow, mandates are about control dictating your life. That's what this whole thing's been about. And it's been showing, I think, how many of the people in America specifically are willing to just go along with whatever the powers that should not be dictate to them because they want to be team players or whatever. They've been programmed by school and by society and by their parents and by their friends and by everything to just go along with whatever the fucking government wants them to do.
I would be in that camp too if it didn't look like the government actively wanted to do bad shit to us.
I was like that until the age of like teenager, like 13, 14. I started being like, why? To everything.
My thing is, like, if I was born in a different time, like if we were in the 1950s, we would probably really chill compared to now. Like now there's a billion things that kind of like, just from a government aspect, look like they are like circling the wagons to round up anyone that thinks like us. The ATF looking for your gun records and shit. Did you hear about that? They're like trying to round up all the FFL's records and add them to their fucking catalog now.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oki Precision and TC are fighting.
Oh,
Doesn't surprise me.
I feel like you guys should come on the chat and then we can listen to you fight. Hey, it's Foos.
Let them fight.
Let them fight.
Almost the entire chat yesterday. Okay, it was just bitching about Yankee.
Oki. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of times when I listen to the Yankee Marshal and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you fucking boomer. Like, but that doesn't mean I don't like the guy or that I hate him.
Isn't that about that's about every time he opens his mouth? That's what I think about.
I don't like some of what Yankee says for pretty much the same reason. It's like listening to your dad talk and you don't like your dad. Like,
Yep.
all right, let's see what this is. A substitute teacher was fired after apparently shopping for sex toys on the projector for the entire class to see.
oh wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, company and property.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
So what, was he screen sharing to the projector and he didn't realize it?
Probably.
Assuming so.
It looks like.
I assume so.
Jesus Christ, man.
I
That
saw a
guy's
story
whole
the other
life
day.
got fucked.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I saw a story the other day where a teacher had a Zoom class going on, and I don't know if they didn't realize it started or not, but the teacher and their spouse were having sex on the Zoom chat.
Like that dude who worked at CNN, I think it was, who was on a Zoom call and
Wait,
decided
you mean
that it was.
What wasn't his name? Brian
Seltzer?
something?
No,
I
it
didn't-
wasn't. I like interrupting in the middle of your sentence too, though. It's great.
You're welcome. It's giving you more practice for those parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah, I know. It's great. So yeah, yeah. I think it was CNN. They're in the middle of a Zoom call. People are talking. They're having a meeting, and this guy just whips out his fucking dick and starts beating it. Finishes up. People are like, "Whoa, whoa!" Before he clicks on the other window to be like, "Oh, I've been live this whole time." And he didn't get fired either, by the way.
Doesn't surprise me.
I don't see how that can't. That's not a fireable offense. I mean, any porn, anything on company laptops puts the entire company at risk.
Jeffrey Tobin. That's his name. Yeah, and he still works
That's
there.
who
He
it
didn't
was,
get
yeah.
fired.
Yeah, he only got like it wasn't like 2 weeks suspension or something. Like it wasn't that long either for what you would expect it to be.
And he gives everyone a high fives and tells them he's going to go whack off for 2 weeks straight. And then no one wants to give him a high five.
Well, everyone knows where his hands have just been.
I wouldn't want to give him a high. Like, if there's any moisture on his palm at all, I'm freaking out.
Yeah, 100%.
Hi, my name is Madison, and today I was taken off a school campus for not wearing a mask. It started when I walked into my first class, and my teacher had asked me to put a mask on. I politely said no, but she handed me one anyways. I set it on my desk, and then she had a security guard come take me out of the classroom. He walked me down to the administration, and I explained to them that I was not going to wear a mask if Governor Newsom was not going to. I was following his example. Furthermore, we cannot be complacent, and we have to stand up for our freedoms and rights.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, Madison.
Yeah, good on her.
See, that's the thing, man. We just need everyone who has a fucking brain and has a little bit of a spine to use their brain and their spine and stand up to this bullshit, because if enough people start standing up and making it a problem for everybody who's trying to implement this fucking crazy draconian leftist fucking authoritarian bullshit, it's going to make it a lot harder for them to do. And it's real easy to do that too. It's real easy to get sent to the principal's office. It's real easy to go to a different restaurant. It's real easy to use a different gas station after you walk in and you don't have your mask on and they're mad at you and then you give them a hard time. Like, how long do you think it's going to be till that fucking cashier at the gas station is just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? Not very long.
Yeah, it's less about, the mind, and it's more about the backbone. Once people start having backbones, their minds will follow. Like, let's say, one of us goes in. Think about us. One of us goes in the said gas station, and all of a sudden, the clerk doesn't say anything, and then another patron's there. I was like, well, if he's not wearing one, he or she, why not? Why am I wearing one? And they stop wearing one, and then they get educated. So it's more about backbone than anything.
You ever had a dog that somebody beat too much? It's like that's what school does to America.
Yeah, you raise your hand to pet the dog and he flinches.
Yep.
And that's the way they like their dogs, I guess. When I say their dogs, I mean us.
I like wolves.
Really excited for the House Sex Ed bill hearing later today. Teaching comprehensive, queer, inclusive, pleasure-based sex ed was a highlight of my time teaching. Again,
sex should not be in schools. Other than this is a way, this is reproductive. Out of that, it should not be in schools.
I would assume that this is a senior level class, maybe junior level class in high school. Then, but even then, why do this? I don't understand.
I'm kind of like, why don't we just tie some ropes around her ankles since she's so into pleasure-based sex education, then tie the other end to a horse, and then slap the horse on the ass and send it running. I don't know. Just my thought.
She might like that.
Yeah, she probably would. How would you know until you try it, Miss Mac? I'm assuming Miss, not Mrs.
You get what she means by pleasure-based education, right? Like guys get pleasure no matter what. Like I'm guessing that's focusing on women's pleasure. But like the fucking like third wave feminist sex ed class.
Well, or
Yeah.
that sex is about nothing but pleasure, and that is it. Like you teach them about kinks and all this other stuff that could get them, that could possibly be pleasure. Like, oh, we they teach us about, back whenever we were in school, they taught us about wars and stuff, not thinking that we were going to go out and start it, but this is a thing that's out there that is a possibility.
Yeah, I'm seriously considering taking my kids out of school.
I think all parents should do it and start homeschooling. I mean, shit, most of them did it during the lockdowns.
Well, I mean, during the lockdowns, a lot of schools were getting in trouble because they were going to like Zoom meetings and shit like that, and then the parents would be like making lunch in the background and hear what the fucking teacher had to say during their Zoom meeting to their fucking 10-year-old. And then, so they had to be like, oh God, we got to get the kids back in the classrooms where we have control of the environment and we don't have interruption from the parents who might have something to say about what we are teaching their kids.
Whatever happened to that little boy that got expelled because he had his BB gun in the corner and they said he brought a gun to school?
I don't know. I remember hearing about that. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know. Go there. Like nothing good comes from me talking about that. That's one of those, like, if you're going to kick me out of school anyway, I might show up with a gun.
I just don't understand how, okay, like, yes, you are in school because you are in a Zoom meeting, but that doesn't mean that your living room is the fucking classroom. And it's not like the kid was playing with the gun or pointing it at the screen or even touching it.
No,
it was just in the background.
Yeah.
I'm kind of of the opinion that if you're going to punish me for it, I'm probably going to do the thing if you won't fucking take it back. That's just me.
So, and I look at that as there's no difference between a gun in the background or if the kid watches a movie that has firearms in it.
All right, let's see what this Unabomber Junior looking person has to say. Look, just put like a hood over their face and then add a beard.
Yep.
If you support the truckers in Ottawa in any capacity, I'm going to assume that you are a fucking Nazi.
Okay.
Wow.
That is the most uninformed, illegitimate thought. That's not even a thought. It's less than a thought because it's anti-thought. It's against thought. It's the opposite of thought.
That's your Democrat Party today.
And that you support the fact that they assaulted workers at a fucking soup kitchen.
Oh yeah, because did you hear that was the mainstream media's talking point, was that the truckers in Ottawa stole food from homeless people. But did that happen? I don't know. Maybe there was an argument or something. Like, who knows? But that's not what happened. The thing that they're saying is different than what happened. I know that for a fact.
No, I read this article. The homeless shelter gave food to the truckers, and then once it was found out that what they did, the homeless shelter changed their story.
Yeah, so they stole food from the homeless people.
Right.
Well, at the same time right now, at midnight tonight, the police in Ottawa are sealing off the city from anyone trying to bring in fuel. So if you have a truck parked in Ottawa that needs fuel because it gets down to like negative fucking tits ass cold up there, right? Like you need your truck running overnight so you don't freeze to death. Oh wait, well that's how we'll get rid of them. We'll stop the fuel from coming in. So now if you try to bring in a jerry can of diesel, you get charged with like aiding and abetting a crime or some shit like that. I don't know what it is that they're charging people with.
Yeah, let's see what happens whenever the government officials, in their snow plows or whatever, try to go and fill up.
All I'm saying is, like, if the truckers can come in and park their cars and do all that shit in the face of the government when the government's like, no, don't do that, and they're like, cool, got it, and do it anyway, do you think that they're going to stop if everyone showed up with a gas can, they're going to stop it? No, they can't.
They don't have the manpower.
the only way that they can stop it is by putting that message out and getting a bunch of people to say, well, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to be the one to go to jail. Right? And it's just like those kids. Hold on. It's just like those kids in that fucking classroom who didn't stand up and do anything because they don't want to be the tall blade of grass that gets cut down. They're afraid of being the fucking only one that stands out because they don't think anyone else is going to do it. But the thing is, if everyone does it, then they don't have any fucking power at all.
My thing is, like, you are 100% correct. But then, like, January 6th, they, like, used every bit of fucking camera footage to round up every person that they fucking could and then threw them into a fucking black hole that they're never going to get out of.
And those
so,
people
like, if you are going to be the tall blade of grass, do not be taken alive. That's my advice to you.
Those people are patriots, most of them. I'm sure there's a couple of the people who got arrested on January 6th who did some shit that I wouldn't agree with. But the majority of the people who probably shouldn't have entered the fucking Capitol but did, because the police opened the doors for them and invited them in, and they stayed between the velvet ropes, took pictures, gave thumbs up in front of the flag with a selfie, and left when they were asked to leave. Those people are patriots. Those people are martyrs for our cause. And the fact that people don't know about what's going on with that is only a testament to the fucking media propaganda that poisons people against each other in our state. In our country. Go Shadow says Washington wants to teach that sex ed in elementary school. Teach that sex ed in elementary school.
Elementary?
Elementary. I think 6th grade was the first time we had sex ed. And it was like...
It was in high school.
Well, for us, it was 6th grade, and it was like, boys have penises, girls have vaginas. This is what sperm is. They weren't like, all right, to have sex, you must first... You know what I mean? Like...
Well, whenever I was taught it, I was taught it in, like, biology, as far as, reproduction in animals, not reproduction or, sex as far as we know it. Like, I think it was my junior year, sophomore, junior year, before I had anything like sex ed like that. Before that, it was all just, here's fact, here's how, here's how we get more giraffes type thing.
I don't know. Yeah, it was in 6th grade, TC. We all laughed uncontrolled. That was the thing. It was like a big funny thing that no one could actually talk about. Like the fact that the teacher said the word sex, we're like, ah!
It's like in MASH when they give the fucking hygiene lecture or whatever.
Let's see what else the Nazi blaming Nazi, the anti-Nazi has to say.
I'm going to assume that you support them defacing Terry Fox's statue and pissing on a fucking war memorial. I'm going to assume you don't respect a single fucking person who isn't perfectly fit into your stupid little cis-het patriarchal white supremacist bullshit.
She barely got through that sentence.
Well, what about all the statues that were disgraced during 2020?
Basically, between this chick and like what Foosh just said is in a nutshell why like this is going to get way worse. There's like this huge divide, right? And it keeps like spreading further apart. And like both sides are bitching about basically the same thing on opposite sides of the coin. That's how you end up having shit like civil wars and fucking, what's it called?
It's
genocides.
It's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. It's okay if I do it, but damn if you do it. Which is not right.
Well, I mean, it's them, they, and that's going to be a continuing series. Who are they? They want to destroy this country, and they are using people like this fucking dumbass on the screen right now, who probably has some sort of mental instability, if not like damage, right? That doesn't know anything about anything, that literally has no life experience whatsoever. Look how young they are. They're like a fucking 16-year-old is what it looks like to me, maybe 18. Like, you're fucking young as fuck, right? You don't know anything. You should not be listened to.
I bet you what happened is whenever all this trucker stuff started to happen, a teacher brought up the news and started to talk about it, and young impressionable minds thought that that was the fact instead of going out and actually looking at what facts are.
Assume that you don't care whether disabled people live or die. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't think you care if anybody who isn't you lives or dies, because people are going to die because of this.
The
roads.
I mean, one thing that was said.
I'm not in office.
What?
One thing that was said, about you don't care who lives or dies. I don't. I'm sorry. I like all you guys, but if something happened to you guys, I know I'm still going to be alive. I'm in this world for me and only me. If you really think about it, as all of you guys too, people that.
That's a very
matter
selfish
to you.
viewpoint, man.
Well, I mean,
go
people
fuck
matter.
myself. Got it, Foos. No problem.
No. You know what I mean? It's like, the people that matter to you. Like, yeah, you guys matter to me. I don't want to see you guys die, but in the long term, is it going to affect me? Not really, but
it will affect you because I will find where you're at and haunt your ass because of what you just said.
Kansas City, Missouri, come find me.
I'll be like, ooh.
I guess shit bugs me more than it does you, man.
So,
I don't know. I do know that they're succeeding pretty well at destroying this country. And
I don't think the goal is to destroy it. It's like to turn it into China.
Well, you have to break it down. It's the Hegelian dialectic. Everyone take a shot. Problem, reaction, solution. How do you get everyone to accept a new form of government that sucks, that's in your life in every respect, that controls your movements, that controls the amount of whatever that you can have, that's centralized and controlled and planned out, that tells you what you can put in your body, that tells you who you can talk to, that tells you where you can go? Well, the only way people are going to accept that is if shit gets really fucking bad.
And there's no way out except that.
No,
they'll offer it as a way out. That might not be the only way out, but they'll offer it as the easy way out.
Yes, that is true.
Honestly, I think like Ho Chi Minh is the other way out.
But Canada, it's fucking cold. People are going to freeze. People are being assaulted. People are being screamed at. They're.
Dude, have you guys been watching this? Like, I was watching it earlier tonight, right? Like, a couple hours before the chat started. And they were listening to Snoop Dogg on the street. They had a DJ booth set up, and trucks were blaring. They were, like, honking the horns to the beat of the fucking Snoop Dogg song. And people are dancing and singing and laughing and, like, hugging. And and then you have people like this that are like, they are assaulting people in the street. They are peeing on war memorials. They're stealing food from homeless people. Like, god damn it, dude. Like, why don't you fix your own fucking life before you go sticking your head out in the world and trying to fix anyone else's? It's a pretty good rule.
There is a never-ending wall of sound surrounding Ottawa currently.
Ooh.
That is psychological warfare. People are going to get hurt. People are going to lose their fucking minds in that situation. So if you support the truckers, I hope you support the people of Ottawa when they lose their shit and fucking retaliate.
I just decided something that I want to do, and I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I want to. I'm gonna get like a fake nose ring and some like fake glasses and a wig and some shit, and I'm gonna make a TikTok video about my pronouns and about the truckers. Thanks for all your support.
What was that noise?
Foos. I think he's getting out of his car.
Yep.
All right. We've got smash and grabbers at a design jewelry store? Or no, wait, this is glasses. Oh, they're just stealing everything. Dude, what happened to the good old days where if someone starts fucking stealing shit, you can attack them? And if they fight back, then you can really fucking hurt them?
Well, have you seen that video of the guy trying to walk out with the buggy full of shit and that grandma stops his ass?
Yeah, that was great. Again, people with a spine. Like, you think the police are really going to come after you for standing in someone's way when they're shoplifting a bunch of shit? Or for, like, sticking your foot out and tripping them as they walk by or whatever? Like, fuck that shit, dude. Fuck those fucking people. Enough of this stuff happens, you're not going to have stores to fucking shop at anymore. So if it's happening in your area and you're not doing anything about it, you're going to get exactly what you fucking deserve.
Yeah, they'll just end up closing all the stores and all the shit will be online.
Exactly. And then pretty soon, oh, wait, all the truckers are on strike, so we can't get anything delivered. So
Yep.
now yep, there you go. You get exactly what you deserve, which is nothing.
This, in a nutshell, is why I think, like, prepping to, like, not live off the land or whatever, but be cut off from supplies in your own home for an extended amount of time is probably just prudent at this point. And, like, Honda's talked about that, too, with meat in the freezer and fucking generator and whatever, but, like you said, this can't go on forever. Eventually, there won't be any more stores, and the trucker thing is just getting worse.
Yeah.
Trucker thing's the only thing making things better, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because the whole trucker thing, and like,
it's the last place where the blue collar fucking Red Wing people still have fucking some control.
And they're flexing that power right now. And the government is realizing, like, oh, fuck. Like, yes, we're in charge, but we don't make this ship run.
I honestly wish Jimmy Hoffa was alive. That'd be fun to watch.
Oh, got a couple super chats. Did I miss any others? Chili Bean dropped in another $1. Thank you, Chili Bean. Oh, god damn it. Sorry, my computer's being weird right now, or at least the chat's being weird on my computer. Daniel dropped in $2. What's it gotta be? A fake nose ring, though? Why has it gotta be a fake nose ring, though? Because
Get a real one,
my
pussy.
fucking nose pierced is why, for a fucking video.
Get a real one, pussy.
Tara Smith's Kitchen says, need any more predictions? Yeah, what's your predictions? I want to hear a prediction. I want to know the result of the game before it's played. No one wants to be oppressed, says girl desperate to be oppressed.
Okay. It really bothers me when fat people get this question, who wants to be oppressed? That's just a Republican talking point. It's null, it's void, nada. I love going into the doctor for any sickness, any ailment, and having it be either attributed to my gender or my weight or both. It's usually weight. We don't want to be denied surgeries. We don't want to be denied medical care. We don't want...
It's not that you're denied a surgery because you're overweight. It's the fact that because you're overweight, having that particular surgery puts you at an extra risk factor. and makes the surgery a lot more difficult, if not impossible. So you can think it's oppression, but it's science. It's reality.
People harassing us on the street. We don't want people hooking up with us just so it can be an inside joke with their friends. We don't want to be harassed online. We don't want to have no clothing options. It isn't that fat people want to be oppressed. It's that we are, and we're not going to shut up about it because we want it to change. We want to stop being oppressed. Just because you don't see it from your privileged point of view doesn't mean it's not happening.
A fucking retard.
Well, I mean, in my humble opinion, if there's something about yourself, like your weight, that makes you upset or that you do not like, generally speaking, unless you have some sort of a thyroid condition or something like that, you can do something about it, right?
Exactly. It just takes a little bit of effort.
And in the case that you have a thyroid problem, okay, like, I get it. There's nothing you can do. It sucks. But everybody else, and that's like a very small group of people, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at first you're a little nervous, right? Or a little like, can I do this? Is this appropriate?
What the fuck is going on in the world, man? Daniel says you should get a tongue ring in honor of never enough ammo. I like my teeth being not chipped personally, so we're good on that. I don't know. I'm not like a big piercing guy. I don't have a bunch of tattoos or anything like that. It's just not my thing, dude. And I don't like how like people who have like piercings and tattoos are like, oh, you're not cool unless you do the things that I like. Like, well, you're not cool if you do the things that I like. Same boat, buddy.
I had a tongue ring years ago, but I was eating, I don't know, it was like a salad or something, and I just bit down wrong and ripped my tongue. I'm like, nope, fuck this shit, it's gone. That fucking hurt.
I can just see it like you're just chewing on a steak or something, and then that little fucking the ball in the tongue ring gets in between your teeth where the steak is, and you bite down like it's a nice juicy piece of steak and crack your fucking tooth in half.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, no thanks, I'm good. I don't really feel like going through a bunch of, dental pain for a fashion statement that you like.
Well, like, I think they're kind of hot, but I wouldn't get one for the same reasons that you wouldn't.
My Lyft driver stopped in front of me, looked me up and down, canceled the right and left.
Look like you're gonna be a liberal bitch.
I'm so sensitive, this would ruin my entire month. Because you look like you're about to explain how communism could work.
Not wrong, she says under that.
That driver said, nope, not today, Satan.
A few weeks ago, scrolling through my For You page and came across a video of a military veteran who was talking about how we being liberals, I don't know how else to say that, liberals, it's so divisive these days, how we can still proudly fly American flags. And I'm going to tell you why we cannot. It's because the right has weaponized it against us. They are patriots of this country. And, they want the flag to stand for our freedoms, which means that they're free to
It does.
be racist bigots. So, a few weeks ago,
I mean,
if you don't like the flag, just get the fuck out of the country. I'll pay for your ticket.
I don't think the flag means that you have freedom, so use it to be a racist bigot. Like that's I don't think that's what anyone I mean, certainly not what I think when I look at the flag. Honestly, I had like a bunch of I don't know what the word for it is. I didn't like the flag for a while because after 9/11, every fucking person in the world in my area, probably your guys too, had a flag in the front yard, had a flag on their car. You go to work, there's flags and flags everywhere, and there's more flags, and all of them say made in China, but it's an American flag, and you can just get another one for another $1 if you want, and you can put it on your car too. And it seemed to me like a very hollow and empty expression for any semblance of what could be considered American patriotism. But now I feel very differently about it. Like, especially since there's people like blue-haired Karen with a fucking choke me collar talking about how the flag represents racism to them and how I am so politically at odds with people like this because our worldviews are incompatible. The way that we look at the world is not the same. We are not the same. And I don't revel in that fact. It's not like I'm glad that there's dissident fucking thought in our country and that it's tearing us apart as a country and shit like that. I don't like it. But I recognize that there's a clear fucking difference between this bitch and me. And,
I like the flags that had less stars on them.
And if me having a flag says that to her, then I'm going to buy another one.
Yep.
Tara dropped in $5 and said, I predicted Canada shutting off fuels. U.S. will meet truckers with force and not allow anyone to block any road. They will be met on the DC loop.
Are there truckers headed to DC?
Yes, there are truckers headed to DC.
That's awesome. I didn't know about that. That shows how they fucking keep that out of the news, I guess.
It's not like, I don't know. So in America, we don't have the same fucking mandates on truckers that they do in Canada, which is why the truckers specifically were doing that in Canada, I believe, is because it was directly affecting their livelihood and their future. The truckers in America don't have that kind of unity, I don't feel like at this point, especially since we don't have that same mandate on them, right?
Yeah.
If we did, and I think what the elites in America are fucking learning from this whole experience and experiment in Canada is, hey, don't go that far.
I wish they would go that far. At this point, like, if they don't go that far, it's going to be a slow road to them going that far in 20 years. I don't know. Maybe it'd be better 20 years from now, but I doubt it.
I doubt it, dude.
Those new black flags are everywhere in DFW. What, the Black American flag? Have you seen those?
No.
Hold on, let me look it up. Yeah, this thing. It's like, that's not an American flag.
No. And what's the point of this?
I forget what something like, I don't know, fill in your fucking social justice message with a black flag, basically. I don't fucking know.
I made my icon my flag.
FNG Starman says, I'm with you. I did move right. The left moved left.
I didn't move at all. I'm still right where I was.
I haven't moved very much. Like, I wasn't ever like anti-gun or anything like that, but I wasn't like gun rights and the Second Amendment. You know, like it wasn't my thing. I just had a shotgun and that was good. And I, didn't really think about it very much. That's the only place where I've moved to the right, is where it comes to gun rights and the need for people like us to stand up and voice our opinions to the powers that should not be, that, hey, this far, no farther. This is the fucking line in the sand. And if you try to take it away from me, you're going to have a fucking problem,
ever see the Star Wars Rebels episode where there's like the big giant Force dude that's the Bendu, the one in the middle? Thinks the Sith and the Jedi are both cute because they fight all the time. That's where I am politically. Like, fuck them both. Both parties act like spoiled children all the time.
Imagine filming yourself harassing a couple over not wearing a mask and thinking that you're the virtuous one.
I think what you're doing is really selfish.
Hey, go away.
We're in a pandemic. You guys are very selfish.
Get that camera out of my face.
All right, very selfish. This is why we're in the pandemic, because people like this. Selfish. You're selfish, buddy. There's rules around here. You guys think you don't have to follow rules? All right, have a good.
There's rules around here. You guys don't think
He's
right.
a cop. He's like a hall monitor version of a cop. They ought to give him a sash and a sword.
I just know it's a matter of time. So I'm going to be in public with my kids or doing something, and someone's going to get in my face, and I'm going to be forced to make a decision of things that I don't want to do or swallow my pride.
I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that shit. People tend to leave me the fuck alone because I'm a big dude.
I'm thinking about buying one of them like Cad Bane hats or like that dude from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And that way when I look up slowly at people, it intimidates them.
Oh, Starman says, correction, I didn't move right. He stayed still. The fuck is Winco?
Isn't that like a food store?
I think it's like a Costco or Sam's.
Yeah, it looks like Costco.
I've heard of Winco Foods.
Scientists find putting pantyhose on your head makes your mask safer.
Nah, that's good.
Wow.
Boy, is that a panty on your head?
Do you put it over the mask or under the mask?
I don't know.
Over?
Over, gotta be, because it seals it closer to your face, I bet.
It makes even less oxygen make it to your brain.
Wonder what the long-term effect of wearing one of those masks constantly is on the oxygen to your brain.
Not good, because all the fucking CO2 you keep breathing back in.
Mm-hmm. Like, just go to the grocery store in one for a couple hours and you'll, like, be, like, fucked up. Like, I can't imagine being in one all day, every day, constantly. It suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Denver just reversed all the mandates in Denver. So they had mandates on like Denver police that they had to take the vaccine. They had mandates on Denver employees that they had to take the vaccine. And they had mandates on all of the Denver establishments saying that they had to have a mask mandate for all employees and patrons. And they just got rid of all of it. So, like, going to the gym recently, like, I've had to wear a mask. And it sucks because you're working out and you're, like, breathing hard. And then you got this mask and it's like, you just pull it down. And everyone just pulls down their mask and they have it around their chin. And they're breathing out of their mouth and their nose. And their mouth and their nose are just, you know, like, you might as well not have a mask on. But since you have it on your chin, you know, you got your fucking chin diaper. Then everything's fine and no one says anything to you. And then they lifted the fucking mandate. And I went to the gym just the other day after the mandate got lifted without a mask because I don't have to wear one now. And I was like one of 4 or 5 people in the entire building who didn't have a mask on. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Well, like I said from the start, if they didn't mandate it and they just asked nicely, 95% of people would have done it probably.
Probably, yeah.
That's the thing is, like, I'm never going to do it if you tell me to. If you ask nicely, I might.
I haven't worn a mask in public in over a year and a half now.
I wear one occasionally, but it's mostly to obscure my identity because I can get away with it now.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good way to like rob the local gas station, I would think. Like, oh yeah, I'm just COVID minded. Or whatever. Tara dropped in $2 and said, DC will be a joke or be violent and be compared with 1/6. I honestly, you're probably right. It's either going to be nothing because not enough people are going to show up, or enough people will show up and they'll use it as some sort of a political fucking bludgeon to hit people over the head with. I don't know, man.
Through the efforts of
Let's see what everyone. This has been posted multiple times in the last couple of minutes. Let's see what this is. It's 26 seconds long.
we have, through the efforts of Deputy Bell, Christiane Hinault, the mayor and his staff, have been able to shut down the GoFundMe program. That's a temporary reprieve because the funds are already moving in different directions. We are now going after supply and fuel coming into the area through investigations and intelligence operations and interdictions, all of which were underway yesterday, fully underway today.
Dude, that's enough to make me want to fucking buy a bunch of jerry cans, fill them up with diesel fuel, and drive up to fucking Canada. It wasn't so far away. If like I lived in like the northeast fucking part of America, I would call my work and be like, I got COVID. I need some time off, and then drive to Canada and give everybody some fuel. Give me a fucking ticket. Go ahead, Canada. Guess what? I'll never be back.
I won't ever pay it. That's the thing I love when people give you tickets. Like Canada is an extreme version of that, but like if you get a ticket in like Missouri, if you never go back to Missouri again, really you never have to fucking pay it.
Yeah, it's like, well, it looks like Missouri's off limits for me now.
Yeah.
Unless I pay that $200.
Because like no one's gonna bother extraditing you for whatever the fucking like ticket is, right? Unless it's like tens of millions of dollars or some shit.
Right, like it's a serious charge. But yeah, like you get caught speeding in Missouri, you just take the long way next time. You'll be fine. FNG Starman says, how long do we wait before we RIP Matt?
We've spoken to him.
I mean, still don't really know what's going on. Still don't know what to say about it. I'm sorry I don't have more information. He's alive. We know that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we've spoken to him. He said he was okay. But that's all we need to know.
Yeah, he'll be back when he can, I'm sure.
Yeah. In the meantime, you get old boring Honda's chats where we talk about penginas and
the Dr. Phil of the YouTube gun community.
TheWish.com.
Yes, that's true. You're not bald enough though, Honda. You need to like shave that head.
Yeah, I got way too much hair to be Dr. Phil. I'm 40, man. If I was going to go bald, it would have already happened by now.
I don't think I would shave my head if I was 40. That's a big risk. It might not come back.
Dude, I knew a guy. I worked with him in construction. He like he lost a bet and he had to bick his head, like, you know, like shave his head with a bick. And he fucking did damage to his scalp with the razor when he did it, and it grew back only on the sides and not on the top.
Damn.
So he had like a full head of hair. He lost a bet and shaved it, and then he was bald forever after that. Oh, F&G Starman dropped in $10 and said, I love your chats. I try to make them fun. Sometimes I just get angry and yell at people, but you know, no one's perfect. Least of all me. Fuck GoFundMe, man.
Yeah, what they did is bullshit.
Well, they colluded with the government. They just were talking about, we were able to pull strings.
Through the efforts of Deputy Bell, Christiane Hinault, the mayor and his staff, have been able to shut down the GoFundMe program.
So yeah, through this person, that person, and the mayor. So through government fucking organizations and people, we were able to go to this private donation entity and get them to shut down donations to people that we don't like. Fuck Canada, dude. Fuck Trudeau.
The part that gets to me is that GoFundMe tried to give that money to other causes.
Yeah, and then they were going to give it to a charity of their choice.
I think they knew they were going to get sued out their ass, so they didn't do that, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, Barnes and Viva Fry were talking about how bad they were going to get sued. Because basically they were saying in order to file that kind of lawsuit, just to file it, it's going to cost you about $250. And to defend it, it's going to cost them in excess of $10,000.
So everyone should do it.
So everyone, yeah, exactly. So everyone, if you donated $50, now you donated $300. Just pay the extra $250, file the fucking thing, and then now they got to pay over $10,000 to fucking fight back against your lawsuit. And if 10,000 people do that, that's fucking $10 million or $100 million. 10,000 times 10,000.
Not to mention, if you win, which you might, or they settle, then it's more.
Right. Ugh. Why do they always show the picture of this guy?
What is that, dude?
The New York Post has published a surveillance video of Antifa hunting me down and beating me when I returned to Portland in May 2021. Portland police didn't interview those or identify participants that night. DA didn't press charges. I don't know who this guy is, but after that night, hackers questions Antifa grown suspicious. I was undercover and dressed as and it was extremely dangerous in the streets. John Hacker grew suspicious of Neo, continued to question him. So this guy attacked Andy No. He looks like, hey, you guys.
He looks like he's seen some shit. A lot of scars, man. Looks like he's been a burn warrior.
Baby Ruth.
Yeah. Damn it.
Daniel dropped in $2 and said, everyone go join NEA's Patreon. Here, I'll post the link to that again. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, and you said he's been off work this entire time too, right?
He basically said that he's not able to right now.
Yeah, I thought so. So I'm sure every little bit will help him.
Patreon.com. That's patreon.com. There's never enough ammos. So yeah, hop in there if you guys have a couple of bucks you want to throw. I'm sure he would appreciate it. If not, I don't think it's dire at this point, but I'm keep it from getting dire, that kind of thing.
Keep the bear away from the door.
Exactly. Super chat censor's getting really bad. I've noticed that too. Like when you try to send a super chat and you're like send, it's like nope, can't send that one. And then you like edit it and then you try to send it again, like nope, still can't send it. And then you delete the one word that you know it is, and then it's like, okay, now you can send it, but you've lost all meaning of the fucking sentence that you wrote.
Just because you can't say oh, never mind.
Penis bag? Wait, what?
That's what I was going to say. I'll let you say it on your chat. I won't get you banned.
A new lung cleaning device? The fuck?
It looks like marijuana.
Lung cleaning device helped me breathe easier and strengthen my lungs. It's 8 a.m. on Monday, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is just an advertisement. I don't want to read an advertisement.
I have one of those. It's called a bong.
Oh, look at all the truckers. These guys they're peeing on war memorials and stealing food from homeless people.
Yeah.
People are gonna die. People are gonna die. Seem to be having a lot of fun there. I don't know. It's a fucking party, dude. This is where it's at. This is a movement, and it's gonna end up just like fucking Occupy Wall Street. They're going to send in those that are going to send in their fucking agents and infiltrate these groups and provocateur them and get them to expose themselves and commit a crime and then get arrested and then disband and then make it look bad in the media to where people stop showing up and it's going to end. Or they're going to fuck up royally and really try to fucking tighten the noose on people, and then everyone's going to really give them their support.
You know, part of me thinks that it would just be hilarious to march on DC with like a 1700 style army with flintlocks. Just because you're all going to probably die attacking DC anyway, so you might as well like go out in style. Get some powdered wigs, get some like blue jackets, because like they're obviously the redcoats.
Oh, here you go. Seizures begin. Look at all the fuel that the police have seized.
So, in fact, yes, they are taking fuel right away from people as they attempt to fuel their vehicles. And people are surrounding the police, even though the police are actually being extremely calm and cool about kind of everything, except for they're taking fuel, I guess. But other than that, they're being pretty respectful to everyone, considering they just got surrounded in like 2 seconds.
And what are the cops going to do if they all decide, fuck this shit, I'm going to go up there and get the gas and take it wherever I'm going to? They're not going to fucking do anything if they all just bombard them.
If I went and did that, I guarantee you one of the cops would grab the can, and then I'm going to hit him in the head with the can, and then I'm probably going to get shot. And then who knows what happens from there. But like whoever does that first, that's 100% what happens.
Do Canadian police even carry guns?
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. Fucking stupid.
Daniel says maybe you should do some kind of fundraise chat for him, Honda. I'd match whatever you raise. I mean, sure, but I want to talk to Matt. And, I want to talk to Matt and figure out what he needs. You know, like I don't know what he needs, what kind of support he needs, whatever it is, I'll do. But sure, I'm open to doing that.
I think we should do like a variety show telethon, like PBS,
where everyone like does their talent.
Yes, we'll have Duke building a boat. It'll be great.
Duke's Ark.
Duke's gay arc.
2 of every animal, but they're all males. Full circle in the chat. All right. Well, I think it's been almost 2 hours. I do have kids that have school in the morning, and I've got some shit that I need to get done. So I'm going to go ahead and wind the chat down at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was a good show. Went through a couple of cool stories, listened to some libs of TikTok, talked about some penis figs and all that stuff. Anyway, I will be doing a show tomorrow night. We'll do kind of like a B Squad Guns and Geeks chat kind of thing again, if you guys are down, and we'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, other than that, have a good night, guys. Peace out.
Later, everyone.
Later.
Later.